Hello, in this video demonstration we will describe new functionality added to XBRLAnalyst to help filers and auditors prepare high-quality XBRL reports submitted to SEC. First, we added the documentation for all XBRL concepts. By pointing in the label, you can view the concept in the small pop-up window. We also added the taxonomy version number, and you can view XBRL concepts together with all the other details. You can select to export individual statements by clicking all at the bottom and selecting values. This function will export in Excel all highlighted columns, including labels, US GAAP concepts, which are supplemented by comment box with the documentation. So by pointing at any cell, you can see the documentation according to US GAAP. When you point at any value in the exported data, you can see the description of that specific data point. You can trace it back to XBRL report by selecting the menu in the context menu. You can view any other component of XBRL report by simply browsing report components in this tree view and clicking any component. We provide all components in this list. You can export the whole report in Excel. For that, we'll remove existing data. You can select any report and click export. This small dialog will ask if you want to export full HTML report, if you want to add HTML notes and XBRL notes. We'll leave XBRL and HTML notes and click export. The export will take a few moments. So as a result of the export, you will see a large Excel file where each section of the report is exported in a separate worksheet, and the first page, XBRL content, summarizes the details of the report. It contains the list of all sections of the report. Each section is linked to the specific worksheet, so you can click it and it will move to that worksheet. And we provide a summary of different XBRL components present in each section. So you can see this first block summarizes some basics about the frequency of using concepts, extensions, dimensional data, number of total labels, number of negated values, number of monetary values per section, and number of non-USD facts. The other section summarizes some information about calculation relationships. So first column is the number of calculation relationships, then the calculation relationship inconsistencies, we call them issues, then some warnings when the context of the calculation relationship is not required and the calculated value doesn't match the reported value, and some missing calculation relationships that are detected based on the number of total labels. When you look at the footnotes in XBRL format, you will see a lot more information that might be of interest to you. Notice that when we have some non-zero values in this section of calculation relationship issues, it's highlighted automatically. You can move to any part of the report where you will see the full list of line items with their US GAAP components, and for each component you can see the comment box indicating the documentation. If the value has dimensional members, it's highlighted in blue color, and in the comment box you will see the first section indicates member documentation, the second part indicates the line item documentation. So this is the member documentation, this is the element documentation. If you wish to put documentation in a separate column, you can toggle this in the settings. Going to settings, you can check the box export documentation as a separate column, and the text of documentation will be inserted as a new column. The notation of the worksheet names is fairly straightforward. FS stands for phase statements, AP stands for accounting policy, HN stands for HTML notes, and then at the end you'll find many XD, which is XBRL details. What's important is that every footnote is placed in the worksheet as a special block that you can edit and highlight. So if you go to document object and select edit, it will open Word document with this text that you can highlight, and just clicking outside of the block you can see the highlighting remains inside the worksheet. You also have full details about the line items reporting these text blocks. So in this export document, we can work, highlight, and make notes for every footnote, should it be XBRL or HTML block, which gives you full access to the information in the document, and you can save this Excel file for transmitting to your colleagues if necessary. The second function that we extended in XBRLAnalyst is importing XBRL instances in Excel. For that, we'll create a blank worksheet, switch to XBRLAnalyst ribbon, and the first step is to convert XBRL instance in Excel file. For that, you click XBRL to Excel converter, where we'll sequentially do all the required steps. First step is to select some instance of a company in XBRL format. You can attach HTML proof of the report. You can select version number, and you can define some output file. For example, you can set this number 7, and we'll set number 7 as the version number. These numbers could be different. You hit embed, and after a few moments the XBRL instance is converted to a local database, and the database is embedded in Excel file. During this process, no information is transmitted outside of your local computer, so there are no privacy concerns. Nothing gets sent over the internet to any server. All the information stays within the Excel file where the XBRL instance is embedded. Once the process is completed, you can load the instance. You can find the new draft report by selecting the company, and the report will be automatically added to the list of all other reports with the star beside the type of the document. And you can view the data in the report in exactly the same way as if you would be looking at the report submitted to SEC. However, all the data is embedded in the Excel file, and it never got transmitted outside of the local computer. Now, if you remember, we attached an HTML document to the report. Therefore, when you click HTML, it will show you the HTML document attached to this report. It's the same document we took from the original report, but you can attach any other document. Supposedly it would be a proof of the new HTML report, which would allow you to audit the report together with XBRL data. The third functionality that we added for simplifying the process of reviewing XBRL reports is compare. This function allows to compare different XBRL reports in a very simple way. For that, we modified the draft report just to see some differences, and I will load the modified report first. So I will find the company again, and you can see now we have two reports with the star. The first one is the original report that we took, and the second one, you can tell right away, has some changes that we made. What you need to do to compare reports is select the base report, then switch to the Compare tab and select the reference report. And the reference report number will be indicated in the box over here. And then you click Compare. XBRLAnalyst will load each report into the memory and perform comparison section by section. In the result, what you see is the list of sections that have some differences. You're not going to see all sections. For that, you can just switch to original report. In this list, you see only the sections that contain differences. You can click any section, and you will notice a new column with pluses and minuses, which indicate the rows where the data has been modified. Sometimes it's easy to find the differences, sometimes we made the difference more subtle. So in this case, the differences in the units. In some other case, it's scaling, which helps to identify some scaling issues in a very quick way. More than that, you can export the result of that comparison in Excel. For that, you just use the Export button. If you select XBRL and HTML nodes, it will export both, and you click Export. This will create a view of the comparison, where you can see in the first cell over here the list of two reports with the periods and accession numbers indicated. When you upload a draft report, we generate accession number in the program because the report has not yet been submitted to SEC. You see the list of sections where the differences are, and the first column indicates where the sections are non-equal. This column indicates number of concepts added and number of concepts removed. And if you click any section, it will take you to the full view of the report with the row that was removed from the base report that is currently selected and the row that was added. And you can quickly find where the differences are. In conclusion, we will summarize the three main functions added to XBRLAnalyst for simple review of XBRL reports or XBRL drafts. First function is the review and export tool for any report in the database. Second function is generating embedded XBRL report with HTML proof that can later on be reviewed. And third function is the comparison tool that allows to compare two different XBRL reports, export the summary, and forward it to whoever would be involved in the review process. The main benefit of using XBRLAnalyst is that XBRL data, including all the technical information, as well as HTML report, are fully integrated into Excel. So you can easily export data in Excel, trace it back to original report, search data in HTML report to compare with XBRL data, and you can review and modify drafts, compare different versions, and control any changes in the reports as they are prepared for submitting to SEC. It has all these features specifically intended to simplify the preparation of XBRL report, its review, and audit. Thank you for your attention.